What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to review the Wednesday series on Netflix, a TV show review. It's quite the rarity, but you know what? I liked it so much, and I just really did enjoy it that I wanted to bring you this review. So I've been keeping my eye on this show for a while, obviously. A fan of Jenna Ortega through Scream and through other things, and she does kill it as Wednesday in the show, but it's more than just that. So I want to talk about the show. I don't think there'll be any spoilers. If you guys want, we could do a spoiler video, down the line. But I feel like I can kind of put together the words to do a review and to promote this show without spoiling it. So I do really like it. I will say this. I told my wife this right when the show ended. There could be some disagreement here. I really think this show is not too far off from being the Scream TV series. Now, I don't watch much TV. I'm kind of like put into a corner of like AMC, so like I've seen Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I did watch the Scream TV series, a while ago, and then watching this. And this is a murder mystery show. That's what this is, and it's got Wednesday as like the backdrop to it. And I think it actually does both of the things extremely well. I think it is an Addams Family, esque. It's Tim Burton-esque. The lighting and the colors and the wacky characters and everything is there, and it's awesome. It's really, really well done. And then it's also a murder mystery of like a whodunit. You don't know, multiple suspects, constant switches, constantly getting you to ask questions. And honestly, with a show like this, it's working when like my wife and I, every episode, we're not like talking throughout the entire thing, but we are literally bouncing theories or ideas back and forth every single episode, all 8. And that, I just feel like, makes it a really good show, that you're able to be like, oh, this person did it, or this person's connected, or no, it can't be that person, and you don't stop saying that throughout the entire series. Now, there are some things that are a little bit more, like, you can spot it more than others, but they kept, and again, without spoiling it, they keep some of the big reveals right until the end. So while you will piece things together, and some of it you'll piece together faster than the characters in the show, right? That's a tough thing with a murder mystery or like a whodunit kind of thing, where you want to keep us, the audience, in line with what, Wednesday's a very smart character. You don't want us to see it like 2-3 episodes before she does, and then she just looks pretty dumb, right? It's like, well, why can't you figure it out? If we can see it, you got to have all of us on the same page. And I would say, besides a few, but there's smaller things, right? They're not the big picture stuff. There's some of the smaller stuff that maybe we can see a little, ahead of. But besides that, everything's in line, and it's an awesome murder mystery. It keeps you guessing. It keeps you asking questions. And while it reveals things kind of breadcrumb trail style, and then it leaves some stuff for the end, it does a phenomenal job. And then from the Wednesday perspective, that's the backdrop. And again, Jenna Ortega, I think, does awesome as Wednesday. I really liked her quite a bit. I like she has emotion, but it's very, 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 downplayed or purposely, right? But I really think she did a fantastic job. And not just her, honestly, again, not watching much television, they kind of crushed it across the board. I liked like a good amount of characters. There was like a love triangle that kind of happens, but not really. One of them kind of drops off a bit, but all, the guys, they're awesome. Enid, her roommate, I thought she was a really, really well done character. The adults, the rest of the Addams Family, while not in it, too much, I think maybe 2 episodes, one of which is pretty centered on them, and the other, they're kind of in it. I thought everybody did a really good job. So acting, it's believable. It makes you feel like you're in that world. It's like if Tim Burton, I told my wife this, like it really does feel a little bit like Harry Potter and like the Wizarding World and like Hogwarts, where it's these outcasts, and they're in different social groups. They got different colors, different kind of like outfits they all wear. There's like a ball, right? There's like a Yule ball for Harry Potter. Like there's all of this stuff, and it really does feel like if you gave Tim Burton the keys to Harry Potter, but then he said, well, I want to make, an Addams Family thing, and I'll use Wednesday as the main character, but I also want to kind of create this school. Now, you never get, like, the school is the backdrop, and they leave school quite often. I think in the beginning they talk about how, they go to, like, a town quite often, and they talk about the town, I believe it's, like, a privilege, and you're only allowed to go, like, on the weekends and stuff. they're there in that town more than they're at the school. The school really is not present all that much, and you don't get like the day-to-day, like it's not Harry Potter. It's not the day-to-day life. There's not like 30 professors. You're gonna get to know each one. Right? It's a little different, but I think they did a really good job. 8 episodes, around 45 minutes each of them. We watched 6 of them in one night, just kept going, and then we watched the final 2 the next day, and I enjoyed it the whole time. I do think in terms of like the big bad and like what the plot is kind of moving towards when it finally reaches that point at the end, it's a little sloppy. I do think the journey was better than, like, you know, the journey is better than the destination, that kind of quote. That does, I think, apply here, where, you know, I think a lot of TV shows or even maybe movies, you know, where like the third act doesn't really work. I'm not saying it didn't work, but I think I enjoyed quite a bit the first 5, 6, even maybe 7 episodes, like leading in. And then once you get to all this stuff, I do think the last episode felt very rushed at times. They bring in, again, without spoiling, they bring in stuff or elements. It wasn't, I think, as well done as the rest of them. But hey, you can feel Tim Burton throughout this entire thing, whether it's the characters or, again, just the lighting and the colors, the color palettes of all these characters. It's really well done. He obviously very, very creative guy. And then even Rob Marshall, who I recognize the name, directed several of these episodes. I recognize the name. I knew he did a Pirates of the Caribbean. I didn't know. I felt like it could have been 4, and he did. He did Pirates 4. He's also doing the Little Mermaid remake. So, you know, some things I like him for, and some things maybe I won't like him for. But I think he does a phenomenal job too. I think this is a really well shot show. I think it's a well acted show. I think overall it's a smart show too, because it's not just an Addams Family. It's not just like her causing mischief or being like this bleak, you know, always looking for like the worst side of things and people and everything. I mean, those elements are there, and they're very clever, and there's some pretty funny moments in it. But then it's also like, it's got to be smart. It's a murder mystery. You got multiple suspects. You got multiple kind of strings that you're pulling, that you want the audience to look at this way, look at a character, only for then something else to happen. I mean, that takes some smarts, right, that not every show can pull off. So this show does multiple, 2 or 3 different things in one show, and I thought it was extremely well done. It seems like there'll be a season 2, depending on obviously the reception, the views. Netflix is kind of notorious, right? If it doesn't do well, Netflix kind of drops those shows or movies straight off the cliff. So hopefully it's you know, well viewed. I don't even know if it has to be well received. It just has to be well viewed, and then I'm sure we'll get more. But you know, Jenna Ortega, again, I think did carry it for parts of it, and as long as you got everybody willing, right, to come back. I don't want a season 2 with the characters that you still have. I don't want, you know, half of them back, or then Jenna pieces out after like a Henry Cavill thing where she gets into fights or whatever. Obviously everybody has to kind of play nice and play together, but that's my thoughts. I think it's well worth a watch. Whether you're like, I like it. I like Addams Family. I don't think I love them. I don't know everything about it, but I have seen different, you know, variations of whether it's shows or movies or anything. I've seen it throughout time. I definitely respect it. I think I definitely like it more than I don't like it. And I would consider myself a fan, but not like a diehard. But I'm dead serious. It's a Addams-ish family thing. So if you like that, you might be in. But then it's heavily, like, if you've seen the Scream TV series, you might, like, at the end of this show, I was thinking, man, maybe they watched it, because there's so many parallels, and it just really felt like, and maybe Scream felt like other things as well. It's just a whodunit murder mystery. Really, Scream was that, right? Murder, you know, mystery, whodunit, multiple killers. You know, they change things around. They get you looking one direction to go another, and then all they did was add phone calls, add a Ghostface-esque voice, add a Ghostface-like mask, have a final girl, have a cat, and that's what they did. And this is kind of the same thing. Murder mystery, you know, you don't really know who to trust, you don't know who to believe, you don't know who's going to be the one who did it. And then you have Wednesday, Jenna Ortega, kind of leading the way in the Addams Family, and those colors and the color palette. That's the backdrop of the show. So and I think they did a really well, you know, it kind of sounds like maybe like a cop-out, like they wanted to do a murder mystery, but they also wanted Wednesday. But I think they did actually both extremely well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.